The next few poses will be done in a standing position. Please move slowly and at your own pace. Keep the sturdy chair nearby for balance if needed. If you find that I'm talking faster than you are moving, please take your time and do fewer repetitions. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Place the feet about hips width apart and grounded on the floor. Lift the toes and spread them nice and wide and feel the navel pull gently in towards the spine. Push the toes into the floor and lean forward just a little bit. Feel the muscles that keep you steady. Lean back just a little bit and feel the toes come up. Feel the muscles that keep you steady in this position. Now push all four corners of the feet into the floor. Notice the steadiness of mountain pose. Notice how the steadiness of mountain pose feels. On the next inhale, roll the shoulders towards the ears, back and down so the shoulders are slightly open. Let the palms rest open to the side. Inhale and let the arms rise with the palms facing up. Exhale, bend at the elbows and allow the hands to come down the center line. Sink into the knees just a little. Repeat this again. Inhale, lift the arms with the palms facing up. Allow the hands and face to be relaxed. Continue with this movement at your own pace. Breathe as you move and try to coordinate the breath with the movement. On the next breath, lift the arms back over the head. Fingertips point in, palms face up. Imagine that you have candles in the palms of your hands and you do not want to spill them. Turn the fingertips so they face behind you. The palms remain up. Turn the fingertips to the side and then to the front like an offering, then out to the side walls. Breathe as you move, up to the top with the fingers facing in again, towards one another, and then forwards like an offering, then out to the side walls. Breathe as you move, up to the top with the fingers facing in again. Let's do this rotation one more time. After the second rotation, allow the hands to cascade down by the side and let them rest. Pause for one slow inhale and exhale. One more breath. Inhale, exhale. This next exercise is excellent for strengthening the spine and gently stretching the muscles of the back, front, and sides. Attempt to make the movement easeful and gentle. We will do these movements with various arm positions. The first arm position is the easiest. Please be sure to stay with the one that feels best for your body. We will demonstrate them all. Take the right hand to the waist and then the left. Roll the shoulders open. And on the exhale, lean to the right. Inhale to the center. On the exhale, lean to the left. Inhale back to the center. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And on the next inhale, gently pull the navel towards the spine. Pull the shoulder blades softly together. Get a small lift in the chin and feel a sense of lengthening through the front of the body. On the next exhale, begin to fold gently forward. It does not have to be all the way. Bend the knees slightly. Inhale and rise back to a standing position. Open the left arm to the side. Keep the elbow bent. Leave the right hand on the waist. Inhale. Exhale, lean slightly to the right, and then return back to the center. Bring the left hand down to the waist. Lift the right arm. Inhale. Exhale and lengthen to the left. Return to the center. Roll the shoulders open. Gently pull the navel in towards the spine. Pull the shoulder blades softly together. Get a small lift in the chin. Exhale and fold forward halfway. Inhale back to standing. Open the left arm again. Inhale, and on the exhale, lean to the right. Inhale and return back to the center. Place the left hand on the waist. Lift the right arm. Inhale. On the exhale, lean to the left. Inhale and return back to the center. Roll the shoulders open. Lengthen through the front of the body. Slightly pull the shoulder blades together. Get a small lift in the chin. Exhale and fold forward. Knees slightly bent. Inhale and return to standing in mountain pose. Pause for a moment. Inhale and exhale. For this warrior sequence, attempt to keep the movements gentle and relaxed. If you notice that you are struggling, move the feet closer together. Lower the arms or make the movements smaller. This pose is great for strengthening the legs, respiration, and opening the shoulders. Step the left foot forward just a few feet. The back foot points in at a 45-degree angle. The front knee bends and the hips face front if possible. Inhale, open the arms and bend at the elbows. On the exhale, bring the hands and elbows towards each other. Inhale, open the arms and push the heart softly forwards. Relax the shoulders. Exhale, bring the arms together. Inhale, open the arms to where you feel comfortable. Exhale, relax the arms inwards. Inhale, open and expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale, exhale. Bring the hands back down by the side. Return to mountain pose. One breath here. Inhale, exhale. Step the right foot forward. Take a moment, there's no rush. Ground the back foot into the floor. Bend the front knee. When you are ready, open the arms. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands and elbows towards one another. Inhale, open the arms. This is a relaxed opening in the chest. Exhale, bring the hands and arms towards one another. Inhale, repeat again, creating spaciousness with a full inhale. Exhale, contract and relax the arms slightly. 2 more times at your own pace. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Let the hands rest down by the side and return back to mountain pose. Pause here for a few breaths.
Welcome back to the 37th online episode of Peacetime, hosted every Sunday morning by Peace Point with myself, Phra Nicholas Thanissaro, live streaming from Dhamma International Meditation Center in Azusa, California. Last time you saw me, we completed our series on living Buddhism. With the Dhamma talk today, we will revisit one of my earlier broadcasts from 2020 entitled Meditation and Its Benefits, to make some repairs to the recording. So today's session will run to about an hour and 10 minutes, with 25 minutes on some of the known benefits of meditation, 20 minutes of meditation, and then finishing up with 25 minutes on how meditation works and its importance in our lives. Before finishing up with news updates, and as usual, in case anyone out there is actually listening, this session, I would encourage you to send in any questions you have by emailing me at peacetime.questions@gmail.com so that I can have a shot at answering those questions next time round. Let us start by trying to answer the question, what is meditation? Our human being consists of both body and mind. If we have a mind without a body, we call it a ghost or a spirit. But if we have a body without a mind, we call it a corpse. We need to have both the body and the mind together in balance if we are to be truly a human being. Normally, we take good care of the body. We take exercise every day. We feed our body with 3 or 4 meals a day, and I'm sure you wouldn't consider going for an entire week without taking a shower. But what of the mind? How often did we ever consider cleansing the mind, or finding food for the mind, or giving exercise to the mind? For most of the time, we treat ourselves as if we were made up of nothing more than a body. And this is why we need to check in with ourselves, specifically our state of mind, on a regular basis. Our well-being depends on the delicate relationship of mental and physical equilibrium. But this can be disturbed easily, especially under the toll of modern-day stress. Does anybody here feel that they are under stress? Do you have difficulty sleeping properly? It may mean that even as you try to unwind from the day's events and attempt to let go of stressful thoughts, your body may still be carrying the residue of accumulated tensions, which will deeply impact your ability to relax. Even if you make a special effort to release your physical tensions, such as going for a walk or watching the TV, if your mind is preoccupied with worries or negative thoughts, then a part of you will remain entangled in the vicious cycle of stress. What is happening to you mentally will determine the health of your physical well-being. So, how you use your body will profoundly affect your peace of mind. Although it has long been known that meditation can provide food, cleansing, and exercise for the mind in one, because people misunderstand that meditation is difficult, time-consuming, or costly, and we'll come back to re-examine some common misconceptions about meditation later in the program, for people in general, hardly any time is devoted to meditation each day. The state of our minds is in neglect, and instead of using the full potential of the mind, we may use only 5% of the total potential of our own minds. The art of meditation is for you to find out about a new way to allow your body and mind to become friends and allies in the face of stress. They need to become equal partners, supporting one another and working together to prevent or redress the imbalances that can occur so easily. Meditation is a quality of being rather than a state or activity or inactivity. Whether you are busy doing something or you are at rest, true meditation occurs only when the body and mind are functioning in harmony as an integrated unity, whole and unfragmented. Once you have understood this integral link between your body and mind, you will understand that it is something that is our shared heritage, just like the air that we all breathe, or the sun, the moon, or the stars that all of us can see shining up in the sky. Meditation is a technique for unifying and focusing the mind. it allows us to transform the usual nature of the mind, that is, to let the attention be scattered by thoughts and phenomena around us in the world. All the meditation techniques of the world can be divided into two different categories, according to the place where the attention is placed during the meditation. The first sort of meditation is that where the attention is focused outside the body, which includes such practices as those of hermits and recluses, self-hypnosis and trances. The second sort of meditation focuses on the attention within the body, which includes the various sorts of mainstream meditations which are aimed at the liberation of the mind. In the classic meditation manual called The Path of Purity, 40 different types of internal meditation are listed, of which Dhammakaya meditation we are familiar with is just one. Dhammakaya meditation can be considered to consist of a synthesis of breathing meditation, because it uses the turning point of the deepest breath at the point of concentration. It can be said to be mindfulness of the body because one of the aims of our meditation is to be able to attain the inner bodies inside our physical body. It is also meditation upon brightness. Dhammakaya meditation is characterized by the use of the center of the body as the focus of the mind, and also by the stopping of the mind. In other words, letting our thoughts die down to silence as the chief aim of meditation. There are different approaches to Dhammakaya meditation that will suit different people of different personalities and qualities of mind. In the course of my online lectures, we will have the chance to look at the variety of alternatives, so that you can make an informed choice of the approach to meditation most suitable for you. As meditation has become increasingly well known in popular culture, there have been a number of misconceptions that have built up around it. We can examine a few examples of these to try to explode a few of the myths. Firstly, you do not need a special place for meditation. You can meditate anywhere you choose. You can meditate alone at home, and you'll be encouraged to do this every day. You can meditate as part of a group. Ideally, to meditate once a week as part of a group is good because we can give each other encouragement, because sometimes in the home we are tempted to get a little bit lazy. But as part of a group, we can discuss our experiences and our progress with others. Meditation as part of a group is generally easier to bring the mind to a standstill because, rather like ice cubes that take longer to melt if they are put in the bag with a bunch of other ice cubes. Secondly, meditation does not need to be time-consuming. Meditation is well suited to our lives because people in the modern world who have only limited time away from their many commitments will welcome the news that really only half an hour a day is required to make good progress in one's meditation practice. What's more, you may find that meditation generates additional free time for you in the day because instead of going through life mindlessly and making mistakes and having to waste time doing things wrong, undoing them, and then redoing them, you can do them right the first time round. And if you have a mind that is clear and perceptive from the start, then that is time saved. Thirdly, you do not need to sit in a special position for meditation. You can sit on an upright chair. It's not necessary to sit in the half lotus position if this is not convenient for you. If you ever feel uncomfortable, you can change position. I'd encourage you to explore which of the many different sorts of meditation mats suits you best, or whether you need to sit on a chair instead. Also, you do not need to become dependent on a teacher for meditation. Through a self-observation, you can go a long way toward being your own teacher in this meditation technique. Unlike some forms of meditation, you can practice Dhammakaya meditation without a teacher, without fear of straying from the correct path. As long as with Dhammakaya meditation you still have self-awareness and you feel happy, and as long as you're still concentrating with your attention inside the body, you cannot go far wrong. And of course, there are always qualified staff from the meditation center close at hand in case you ever do need advice. Furthermore, you do not need to change your beliefs in order to practice meditation. Meditation deals with a part of yourself that is entirely distinct from your religious beliefs. It is more like cleaning the windows of your house rather than changing the view outside. Meditation will help you see the same view you always had, but more clearly and with improved resolution, enriching the spiritual inspiration you started out with. What's more, meditation can be practiced by those of all ages. Some of the best meditators are 10-year-old children because their mind is not cluttered up with worries and responsibilities in their lives. However, they may fail to see the real value of meditation because they are able to get results without making too much effort. As for those in old age, well, they can bring the maturity and experience of a lifetime to their meditation practice. And although it may be harder to shake the negative residues of life, senior citizens will easily see the impact meditation makes on their peace of mind in life. Moreover, meditation need not be expensive. In the old days, you might get charged an exorbitant price for your personalized mantra, and some meditation apps out there still seem to charge quite a high monthly subscription. However, in our community, where meditation is mostly taught by monks and within a not-for-profit framework, there are many examples of good meditation and teaching which is absolutely free. And I'll tell you about the latest app called MindGem for learning Dhammakaya meditation in English at the end of this program, which is definitely one which is free. Also, meditation is not a modern gimmick. Because they have seen meditation and mindfulness in trendy health magazines, some people assume meditation is just a newfangled fad that will soon disappear and be replaced by something yet more fashionable. However, what we know of the history of meditation, if it is a fad, has lasted so far for about 3,000 years, but has been constantly subject to rebranding. Even so, meditation does not need to be mystical. There are many schools of meditation practice which are shrouded in secrecy, or maybe they are not very open about the way they share their trade secrets. In the Dhammakaya tradition of meditation, however, we try to be open about our experiences and avoid secrecy by expressing, discussing, and comparing our experiences in order to learn from one another. Lastly, meditation does not need to be religious. Meditation can be a religious practice, or it can be a secular practice. It's up to the meditator to choose. Dhammakaya meditation can fit in well to any spiritual tradition you choose, or it can be practiced simply as a way to relax and understand yourself and the world more clearly. Both ways of practice are equally valid. We each have our own reasons for taking up meditation. These reasons can be many and varied, but they usually boil down to a wish to redress the balance of body and mind. The motivation may be expressed in different ways. For example, on the more physical side, maybe people meditate for health or stress prevention. On the more spiritual side, perhaps the motivation is to gain self-realization or on some sort of spiritual impulse. It's not uncommon for the doctors to recommend meditation to their patients. Meditative techniques, particularly those involving visualization, are now commonly taught to patients with serious diseases. As mentioned earlier, there is a very strong link between the mind and the body. Disease often follows anxiety, stress, or depression. Meditation proceeds from a state of physical relaxation and uses the mind to calm the body. Deep relaxation creates certain conditions within the body which are physically beneficial. Meditation has the power to awaken us to the spiritual levels of our being, but through inner experience. Meditation enables us to discover who we really are and what we might achieve. It brings us to a state of self-realization, which is the highest expression of human nature. Today I'm not going to talk about my opinion of what is good about meditation, but what I'll do instead is simply to tell you about what scientists have discovered about meditation. Thousands of research papers from 1935 down to the present time have found evidence for the benefits of practicing meditation. And as you can see from the graph, the interest of researchers in the mindfulness phenomenon has been increasing almost exponentially in recent years. Despite some detractors such as Van Dam, the general consensus by researchers is that there is a significant and reliable body of evidence that meditation has broadly beneficial effects for practitioners. There are 4 levels at which meditation evidence has shown benefits brought by meditation, that is, brain physiology, clinical, personality, and society. Most of the benefits I mentioned today are applicable to meditation techniques in general, although if time allows, I will come back specifically to the benefits of Dhammakaya meditation. Some of the studies on meditation in the 1970s admittedly had some problems, such as having too few subjects or not being randomly controlled trials. But these problems have been rectified in more recent studies. So to start with brain physiology, although when meditators talk about the mind, they usually mean the awareness rather than the brain, there are places where awareness and brain function overlap. Recent advances in brain neurophysiology, particularly the fMRI scan, have allowed activity of the brain to be monitored in live human subjects and have shown that the brain experiences several demonstrable advantages from regular meditation practice. Contrary to the assumption that the brain stops developing after childhood and deteriorates from young adulthood onwards, brain changes linked with meditation show meditators can, to their advantage, exploit the phenomenon of neuroplasticity to continue rewiring their own brains throughout their lifetime. Our brains have several inbuilt weaknesses that render us disproportionately sensitive to suffering in life. Owing to survival adaptations that are a throwback to prehistoric times, when the brain scans for stimulation, it tends to ignore happiness and instead register, recall, and react preferentially to unpleasant experiences. Negative experiences are stored indelibly in the hippocampus. It was shown that a single episode of depression, for example, can reshape circuits of the brain to make future episodes more likely. Suffering cascades into the body via something called the sympathetic nervous system, or SNS for short, causing reflexive flight or fight responses. The prefrontal cortex, which I'm going to call PFC, that's not KFC, it's PFC, and anterior gray matter of the frontal lobe play a role in the rational regulation of emotional functioning. It was shown that the failings of the PFC include rehearsal of negativity and failure to control negative impulses. Thinning of the PFC is associated with depression and memory loss. The limbic system is a complex system of nerves and networks in the brain linked to instinct and mood. It controls the basic reflexive emotions and drives, but often fails to do this. The anterior cingulate cortex, or ACC for short, appears to play a role in compassionate emotion. Moving on to the advantages to the brain of having a meditational lifestyle, it was shown that through meditation, the rational, in inverted commas, PFC can be trained to control the emotional, in inverted commas, limbic system. Meditation was linked with increased blood flow in the PFC, and meditation was linked with cortical thickening, suggesting that meditation may offset age-related thinning of the cortex, leading researchers to conclude that for depression, meditation may offer an alternative way to avoid or roll back depression that usually requires coaching, psychotherapy, or medication. It was demonstrated that meditators are more in touch with their subconscious urges than others. By implication, they have more chance to catch and control urges before they lead to damaging behavior. This is certainly true of meditators' enhanced ability to control SNS, fight or flight reflexes, since there is evidence to show long-term meditation can train a person to startle less at loud noises. Meditation has also been shown to increase a blood flow to the thalamus, which is associated with higher cognitive processing. Meditative expertise has been shown to enhance compassionate emotions by stimulating the ACC. Meditation was also shown to be associated with increased gray matter concentration in the regions of the brain involved in learning and memory processes, emotion regulation, self-referential processing, and perspective taking. Like crying over spilled milk, often the extreme reactions we make to negative circumstances in our lives have a worse impact on our well-being than the circumstances themselves. Meditation makes a person less susceptible to these secondary reactions. Apart from stimulating increased blood flow to beneficial parts of the brain, meditation also seems to affect the brain positively through the patterns of brain waves it produces. Meditation is known to synchronize powerful gamma brainwaves. Similarly, non-directive meditation increases theta and alpha brainwaves. Accordingly, brain activity during meditation was shown to be associated more with wakeful, relaxed attention rather than merely with brain downtime. In conclusion, meditation provides more balanced brain functioning. Moving on from the benefits of meditation seen in brain physiology, it appears that meditation can help overcome several clinical conditions that diminish our subjective well-being. Research shows that meditation can be a good alternative therapy for stress, depression, sleep disorder, and other health conditions. Meditation has been shown to reduce stress. Dhamma meditation, like other methods of meditation, has been linked with reduction of the symptoms of stress, such as serum cortisol levels and high blood pressure. Pulse rate and maximal voluntary ventilation were also reduced. Research more generally on mindfulness has shown that meditation can be a promising alternative to the treatment of PTSD. Dhamma meditation has been shown to be effective in treating clinical depression, especially where depression has been triggered by pessimistic outlook on the world. More generally, meditation has been linked with a reduction in the risk of depression relapse. On the subject of sleep disorders, long-term meditators have been shown to need less sleep than average, and meditation has been shown to provide an effective treatment for insomnia, benefits that are sustained over a 6-month period. Other aspects of health where meditation has been shown to be beneficial include chronic pain, where a recent review of 22 studies concluded that acceptance-based interventions such as meditation have small to medium beneficial effects on physical and mental health of chronic pain patients. Other research showed that there have been a number of cases of cancer regression following intensive meditation, even in the absence of orthodox medical treatment. Serum cholesterol levels were shown to be significantly reduced in those who practice meditation regularly for a year, and meditation has also proved a useful adjunct in treating asthma. A recent review of 36 studies showed the efficacy of meditation in reducing the symptoms of anxiety. Regular practice of meditation was shown to help prevent coronary heart disease, myocardial infarction, and reinfarction, and meditation was also shown to be effective in helping to reduce the frequency and severity of migraine attacks. Meditation may even help to keep us young, since on standard tests of biological aging, including auditory threshold, near-point vision, and systolic blood pressure, meditators were found to be on average 2.2 years younger than their expected age ratings. So we turn now to research evidence for meditation helping the personality. Evidence shows that meditation helps with happiness and positive affect, personality and self-esteem, self-actualization, empathy, spirituality, and enhanced learning ability. Meditation can help a person change from reliance on external conditions to make us happy, and we all know that external conditions are beyond our control, to turn instead to conditions inside themselves which are definitely more under our control. Research on frequent meditators reported a significantly higher level of positive affect and lower levels of anxiety, hostility, and dysphoria. Research has also shown that there are improved measures of happiness when meditating as compared to subjects following a personal happiness enhancement program who didn't meditate. Meditation has a role in enhancing personality and self-esteem, leading someone closer to reaching their goals, becoming more settled, satisfied with their responsibilities, more patient and accepting of the things beyond their control. A study on the connection between Dhamma meditation and character building has shown that a range of character virtues are perceived more clearly in practitioners as they accumulate more experience of meditation. Meditators generally have a more positive perception of their own behavior, and there was increased self-esteem in meditators, even amongst HIV-positive men. In another study, meditation was found to increase overall self-esteem, feelings of worth, benevolence, and self-acceptance in those who had followed a 7-day meditation retreat. Meditation was also linked with an increase in measures of positive personality growth. Meditation has been shown to enhance self-actualization, which means becoming the best version of yourself. Meditators were found to score significantly more positive than non-meditators in terms of self-concept, and another study found that the more they meditated, the more they came to perceive their actual selves as being increasingly similar to their ideal and social selves. A review of 42 studies found significant improvement in self-actualization as a result of meditation, and on a personal orientation inventory, 2 studies found that those who had meditated for 10 weeks had significantly higher scores on inner directed and time competence scales. In short, meditators have concluded that those who meditated had higher levels of self-esteem, satisfaction, ego strength, self-actualization, and trust in others. In the workplace, meditation has been found to increase production efficiency by increasing the degree of satisfaction of the workforce, enhancing the development of work skills, and reducing the frequency of changing job. Meditation was also shown to increase friendly relations in the workplace. Meditation was found to help in the development of empathy, and to the extent that undergoing meditation for 8 weeks helped meditators identify expressions on faces in photographs with improved empathetic accuracy. Increased levels of empathy were found in students who meditated. Even a single session of meditation has been shown to reduce indices of anger in experienced and novice meditators alike. Meditation was linked with becoming more open-minded, and college undergraduates who meditated experienced significant gains in creativity. The qualities of having a sense of basic trust, openness, and caring, and having a positive sense of being part of something larger than oneself were shown to increase over time in the course of a mindfulness intervention. Meditation was also shown to help with proficiency in solving interpersonal problems. that meditating is associated with a deepened sense of spirituality is supported by research which showed that higher scores were obtained on a measure of spiritual experience in a group of undergraduate students that had learned meditation. Nonetheless, in some cases, mindfulness and meditation have been commercialized and banalized to the point that they have become nothing more than a secularized therapy, so-called mindfulness, and this has reduced the potential of meditation to stimulate any connection with spirituality. In the world of education, meditation was found to improve scores on intelligence tests. Studies indicated that meditation enhances learning abilities. The association between meditation, learning, and intelligence has been explained by the way meditation seems to enhance memory and accelerate knowledge acquisition. In elementary schools, mindfulness practice has been shown to help with cognitive outcomes, socio-educational skills, and well-being of pupils. Meditation in public schools and universities is associated with significantly higher grades. Meditation, even for 10 minutes each day before the start of food science classes in a Thai secondary school, was shown to significantly increase study scores. Meditation has also been shown to improve cognitive flexibility in the elderly. So now, with all this talk of benefits of meditation, let's take a break halfway for some meditation ourselves. And the presentation today is entitled The Center of the Body. So at this time, we settle ourselves down for 20 minutes of meditation. If you'd like to find a comfortable sitting position for yourself now as you listen to my guidance.
If you'd like to start by finding a comfortable position for yourself in meditation, with your right leg on your left leg, your right hand on your left hand, with the index finger of your right hand touching against the thumb of your left hand, with your hands palm upwards on your lap. Or you can adopt any other looser variation of this position, any position which you feel that for you is the most comfortable position. But never forget to find the right balance between feeling alert but yet relaxed. And adjust the position of your body so that your breathing and your circulation are completely natural. Make sure that you have no aches or pains that might interrupt the continuity of your attention. And start by relaxing every muscle of your body. Relax every muscle of your body, starting with the muscles of your forehead. Relax your eyebrows, your eyelids, and make sure your eyes are only very gently closed. Never squeeze your eyes shut, thinking it will help you to meditate better. Close your eyes only very gently, in much the same way you would close your eyes to go to sleep. Never overlook the importance of closing your eyes gently. Otherwise, years can be wasted meditating without any progress. Relax the muscles of your face, your neck, both of your shoulders, both arms down to the tips of your fingers. Relax them all completely. Relax your chest, trunk and abdomen. Both of your legs down to the tips of your toes. So that all the way from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, there's no remaining part of your body with any stress or tension anymore. If you notice any remaining tension, then relax it completely. And you find that the body which is properly relaxed will have a feeling as if it seems to melt away into the atmosphere around you. You have no physical concerns about your body anymore, so that you can turn your attention to relaxing the mind. The most efficient way to relax the mind is to forget about all concerns with your everyday life. Put aside for a few moments all anxieties concerning responsibility, anything concerning your work, friends, family, studies, or any other thing. Don't let your mind wander to thoughts of the past or thoughts of the future, but keep your mind firmly in the present moment. Keep in mind the task in hand of relaxing the mind, of training and cultivating the mind in meditation, for which you have set aside these precious few moments. And fill your mind with thoughts of happiness and joy. Make your mind spacious, radiant, light and refreshed. Spacious like the ocean, radiant like the morning sun. Light as a feather, and refreshed like a flower bud in the early morning dew. Fill your mind with happiness and joy, as if those tiny particles of happiness and joy completely filled your mind, leaving no space within your mind for any other sort of thought. And when your mind feels completely relaxed, harmonized, unified, and your body is completely relaxed too, very gently, using no effort at all, allow your attention to settle and to center itself to a point in the middle of your stomach. Allow your attention, allow your mind to settle itself to a point in the center of your stomach. And maintain your mind there, at this point in the center of your stomach, as continuously as you can, for as long as you can, without letting your mind wander anywhere else. You should choose a point at the center of your stomach, which you feel that for you is the point of greatest contentment, the point where you feel you could rest the mind continuously, without moving the mind anywhere else. Maintain the mind there as continuously as you can, for as long as you can. The way we keep the mind in the center of the body depends on our own personal character. Some people like to keep the mind in the center of the body by visualizing a bright object there. Other people prefer to keep the mind in the center of the body simply by observing whatever inner experience there is to be seen at the center of the body. If you find that for you the first method is more appropriate, then imagine a bright object such as a shining sun, a full moon, a shining star, or even a crystal ball, as if that bright object, the object of your choice, any one of the four, is floating in the center of your stomach. And imagine that object as continuously as you can, for as long as you can, without letting the mind wander anywhere else. Imagine with a soft and gentle attention, an attention so soft that it is like a bird feather floating down to settle upon the surface of some water, floating down so lightly that it doesn't even break the surface of the water. Such is the gentleness of the attention we need to imagine our bright object continuously at the center of our body. This is the first way of imagining, by visualizing a bright object. A second possible way of maintaining the mind at the center of the body is simply by observing without imagining anything, observing whatever there is to be seen at the center of the body. If there's darkness to be observed, then observe the darkness. If there are shadows to be observed, then observe the shadows. If there are images to be observed, then observe the images. And if there is brightness to be observed, then observe the brightness. In brief, observe whatever there is to be seen, but observe continuously with a light and gentle attention, without entertaining any thoughts in your mind, without judging the things that you see, without any expectations, without becoming elated by the pleasing things that we see, without feeling disappointed by the displeasing things that we see, simply observing and nothing more, in much the same way that you would watch a television screen, without trying to interfere with the program which we see on the television screen. Much the same way, we simply observe without trying to interfere or affect the things that we see in the mind. This is a second method by which we can maintain the mind at the center of the body. Some people who imagine a bright object in the mind find that they cannot help but use too much effort. They may end up with a feeling of tension across their eyebrows or maybe on their shoulders. If you have a tendency to such tension, then maybe for you the method of observation is most suitable. However, if you are the sort of person who finds that their mind wanders easily, or if you suffer from sleepiness, then maybe for you the method of imagining a bright object would be more suitable. You should choose a method which you find that for you is the most suitable, which for you works the best. But whichever of the two techniques which you choose, the important thing is to rest your mind at the center of the body continuously, with a light and gentle attention, never letting your attention wander anywhere else. Because with the continuity of effort, eventually the mind will become more subtle. The images in the mind will become gradually more subtle too, and the feelings in the mind will become more refined. But at the same time, the number of thoughts in the mind will become gradually reduced, until the mind can come to a standstill at the center of the body. So cultivate the mind in this way, using your chosen method, using your chosen object of meditation, with a light and gentle attention, as continuously as you can, for as long as you can, without letting the mind wander anywhere else. If you find that you suffer from a continuous stream of thoughts in the mind, if you find that those thoughts irritating, then maybe you can return to using the mantra Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, for as long as it takes to pacify the thoughts in your mind. And once the thoughts are stilled, you can continue with your meditation in silence as you did before. The mind becomes more refined, then it will start to have access to more refined and subtle states of mind, because the mind can only have access to states of mind which are as subtle as the mind itself. So cultivate the refinement of the mind, cultivate the subtlety of the mind, using your bright object or using your observation skills, as continuously as you can, for as long as you can, without letting the mind wander anywhere else. And eventually the mind will come gently to a standstill at the center of the body, allowing the mind to go deeper inside, deeper into purity, deeper into brightness, and deeper into the hidden wisdom within the mind. So cultivate your mind at a standstill for a few moments in silence until we come to the appropriate time.
Sappa Putthanuppavena Sappa Dhammanuppavena Sappa Sankhanuppavena Sattha Soti Bhavantu Te. So if you'd like to come to the end of your meditation for today, you can gradually open your eyes again. If you feel at all uncomfortable, then slowly try changing to a more comfortable position before gradually finishing your practice. So to return to the subject matter for today, let's continue with our discussion of the social benefits of meditation. So the benefits in society, in other words. That meditation can help in the prevention and cure of social problems is a final category of benefits that I would like to highlight today. That meditation can be linked to social well-being is based on the idea that society is a sum of the individual parts that comprise it. The more people in any society who can learn to meditate and live peacefully, the more shared endemic problems like crime and drug abuse will be diminished. On a more metaphysical level, practicing meditation helps to roll back unwholesome influences in the world. It should be admitted that on this level, the benefits of meditation are harder to prove and less research is available. That meditation helps with rehabilitation of prison inmates was shown by a meditation intervention in California's Folsom State Prison, where prisoners trained in meditation showed decreased anxiety, neuroticism, resentment, negativism, irritability, hostility, and prison disciplinary rule infractions. Incorporating meditation in the lifestyle of individuals recovering from addiction was shown to provide an effective means of preparing for addiction-related life challenges. Meditation has also been shown to help reduce alcohol abuse. The meditation has social implications is supported by a study where long-term meditators more than short-term meditators were significantly less socially withdrawn, more positive in their outlook on human nature, more sociable, and had less pronounced feelings of social inadequacy. In a consciousness-based approach to peace, mostly pioneered by transcendental meditation, to achieve a critical mass of higher awareness through a unified field and a shift in consciousness, a notable example of a global peace initiative arranged for 4,000 experts to meditate together in Washington, D.C. in 1993. And this event coincided with a 23% reduction in crime rates in that city. Similar approaches have been applied to reduce the collective tension, precipitating terrorism and international conflict, and to reduce political violence. Many people were outraged when philosopher Ken Wilber claimed that the best way to stop famine in the world is to meditate. However, when Joaquim Chissano became president of Mozambique, at the end of a 15-year-long civil war that had left millions dead, he had the chance to learn how to meditate. Rather than trying to shore up his own power by enacting revenge on rebel forces, he compromised, rescuing almost 3 million people from extreme poverty in the period 1997 to 2003. Chissano's rationality and compassion as a leader, alleviating poverty and healing a broken country, is attributed to his commitment to meditation. It is notable that Chissano did not meditate alone, but required his family, government ministers, police, and army to meditate too, twice a day for 20 minutes. So just to summarize some of the remaining other general research literature on meditation, evidence shows that meditation, more than any other phenomenon, including hypnosis, sleeping, or physical exercise, will reduce anxiety and give improved performance in sports. Regular practice of meditation was found to lower sensory thresholds, and to reduce adaptation time to changes of environment. Self-actualization, mental stability, self-confidence, self-acceptance, and sociability were increased by meditation. At the same time, aggression, anxiety, and neuroticism were reduced by meditation, and meditation even helps schoolchildren, prisoners, and the general public to overcome their addictions. Having seen the benefits that meditation can bring, it is pertinent to look at the mechanism by which the still mind can have an effect both on the quality of the body and the quality of the mind. As we've said, the mind belongs inside the body, but even so, most people in the modern world are so concerned about the affairs of the world around them that they let their attention, and therefore their mind, drift out of control, outside their body for most of the time. The decisive factor in this absent-mindedness is our concern about the affairs of the outside world. Attachment comes both in the guise of love and hate. Attachment pulls your mind outside the body. For example, if you go into a jewelry shop and drool over a diamond ring, where is your mind at that time? Your mind, of course, is on the diamond ring and not under control inside your body. On the contrary, whenever you see someone you hate walking down the street, you are so angry you would like to punch them on the nose. Where is your mind at that time? Well, your mind is not with you, but with that person. Euphoria and depression, the peaks and troughs of human experience, are both the result of a disembodied mind. The longer the mind stays outside the body, and the farther it drifts away, the more suffering and trouble it will bring back to the owner. Some people are so concerned about their business or about their partner and children that their mind knows nothing but unrest. Only if they can bring their mind back to their body from the outside world can they possibly escape from all their stress and anxieties. The starting point for meditation to help reduce the suffering of living beings is to offer a practice for us to train ourselves to bring the mind back from outside our bodies to a space within ourselves. Since the mind is a subtle phenomenon which cannot be handled like something solid, instead of being able to grab the mind and bring it back inside the body, we have to use the power of the imagination, the power of the mental faculty as employed in meditation. In fact, there are many well-known methods of meditation, of which the most common technique is that of following the breath. Focus of the mind in this case is often something physical, the breath, or it can be something in the imagination, like an imaginary crystal ball or imaginary ball of sunlight inside the body. This is the linking factor which gradually reduces the amount of time the mind spends drifting outside the body until, with practice, the mind will spend more time inside the body than outside. There's a difference in meaning between distracting your mind from your troubles and connecting with profound peace on the inside. Distracting yourself may seem like a reduction of suffering, but it is just filling your mind with different sorts of thoughts in the mind. True stillness in the mind is qualitatively different altogether from a mind filled with thoughts. It is like a man who has beaten his head against a wall all his life. Whenever he stops beating his head against the wall, he thinks he has found happiness. But I'm sure all of you know that this is not really true happiness. You do not need to get used to beating your head against the wall in order to discover happiness. It is the same difference in feeling between distraction and true stillness of mind. The key difference between a mind under the sway of thoughts and the mind that has come to a standstill is that the latter consumes virtually no metabolic energy. When the mind comes to rest, it uses less energy, and when it uses less energy, the metabolism is less. When it uses less metabolism, oxygen consumption is less. With less oxygen consumption, the breathing becomes shallower, and this feeds back into itself because, rather like the wind which may whip up waves on the surface of the ocean, if the breathing becomes more subtle, then it actually decreases the number of thoughts in the mind still further, in a sort of positive feedback loop. until no thoughts remain. When no thoughts arise anymore and the breath is subtle, at that stage something new will happen in the mind, which is known as the stopping of the mind. And at that stage there will be the arising of some sort of inner illumination. At that time the breath may seem to be unnoticeable, because your bodily metabolism is so subtle that it's barely detectable. At this point, brightness inside will increase further, and this is why when you sit for meditation and pitch blackness inside suddenly starts to turn to grey, the metabolism of the body is getting more refined and the process of the mind coming to a standstill has begun. Only when the mind is truly still will brightness arise in the mind without having to imagine or visualize brightness anymore. Brightness will occur automatically in the mind at this point. If the mind should become stiller than this, then the brightness will condense into a bright sphere of inner radiance. You can think of meditation as focusing the potential of the mind by bringing the mind to a standstill at a single unified point. Usually we use only 5% of the full potential of the mind, because the power of the mind, which has no focus, is scattered in all directions. The power of the untrained mind is rather like a pet monkey that has not been trained. You may have heard of the monkey mind, and this is exactly what the mind is like, because it will jump like the monkey from branch to branch according to its interests, without heeding the wishes of its owner. Flashlight, it is as if each ray of light alone has no intrinsic power, and will not shine very far or very brightly, like a flashlight without a reflector. When we start to meditate, however, by concentrating the mind on a single object, such as a crystal ball or the sound of a mantra, the power of the mind is withdrawn from 1,000 concerns into a single unified focus. Like the beam of a flashlight with a reflector, it can start to light up the world around us. If we focus the beam of the flashlight to a single point, however, the light will become very bright indeed, allowing us to see the detail of things around us. With the well-trained mind, it is about the same. Once the mind becomes more unified by meditation, it will allow us to see and gain insight into the inner world of the mind in a way that was not previously possible. This is why in our meditation we must practice often and with diligence, so that our mind can become as unified and focused as possible. The point inside where the mind can really come to a standstill was very difficult to discover. Just as Sir Isaac Newton had so much difficulty in establishing the center of gravity, masters of this meditation technique had to stake their lives in order to find the point which should be the focus for the yogic practice. If you can find the point in the body which is the center of gravity, then you will discover that there is a point where inner brightness will arise. In Dhamma meditation, we pay special attention to the center of the body for 4 reasons. Firstly, it's the only place in the body where the mind can come to a standstill without thoughts arising in the mind anymore. It is also the place where body and mind can come into balance and harmony. And maybe a good illustration of this is with an object like this. If you can find its center, then you can balance it on your fingertip with no effort whatsoever. However, if it is off-center, then you really have to use a lot more force to hold that object in one place. It is the same with the center of the body. If you can get to the center of your body and mind, then everything else in the meditation will just fall into place so much more easily. The center of the body is also the turning point of the breath at the deepest point of the in-breath. It is a place where the breath hesitates or stops briefly between the in-breath and the out-breath. Lastly, the center of the body is a center of wisdom in the body. It aligns with the system of chakras used in yogic practice and in Hinduism. This point in the solar plexus is known to be the seat of wisdom inside the body. Digesting the goodness of meditation takes a long time. Just like the nutrients in food we have eaten takes many hours to be digested, absorbed, and incorporated into the cells of our bodies. We can only get limited benefits from meditation by meditating on and off, or just meditating once and forgetting about it. We need to have continuous contact with the meditation in order to absorb its benefits. And this means finding some time to meditate, however short, each day. Meditation will be of only limited use to you if you practice it on and off. The key to success in meditation is the commitment to meditate once or twice every day. Like embarking on a new career with a new employer, if you turn up for work only when you feel like it, then you're unlikely to go very far in your career. Everybody has the same difficulty in the first few months of practicing meditation. Therefore, if you're interested to progress in meditation, you should meditate at least once a day, picking a time when you know you will be free every day. In the morning, you should do a little exercise to refresh your body and then sit down to meditate for a few minutes. This will give you a perfect start to your day. In the evening, just before going to bed, find a time to meditate again to relax your mind and allow you to make the most efficient use of your time asleep. The most important thing is to fix the habit of meditation into your daily routine and meditate in the same period of time every day, so it is easy to remember. This is vital if you want to see progress. All I can do is try to give you the encouragement you need to meditate every day at home, but ultimately it relies on each individual to have the self-discipline to make the time to meditate each day. Remember, meditation in one respect is like sports or crafts or skills of any type. For all of these activities, you will never become skilled just by talking about it or by reading about it. For any skill, you need to gain expertise by doing it regularly. At the moment, we can rely on our online community to keep up our level of inspiration, which might not be quite the same as being able to congregate to meditate. But hopefully, as the pandemic restrictions are gradually lifted, we can go back to group meditation again before too long. You need to persevere with training in meditation just as a sports player needs to train to play their sport properly. A runner may train themselves for a full year and run for many miles simply to sprint 100 meters for an important race. In the same way, success in meditation may need us to take many years of practice to raise the mind up to a level where we can attain access to higher states of mind. It is for this reason that if you are really interested to learn meditation, you would be advised to meditate at home each day so that you'll be able to develop continuity in your practice. But for today, let me finish up with a quick mention about temple support and a news update about the availability of meditation teaching in English. For those of you who like to visit the temple in Azusa to bring offerings, please be informed that as pandemic case rates are on the rise again, our temple is still using the offering site in the parking lot next to the main temple. And between 10 and 11 a.m. each day, we will be open for visitors. If you have trouble with the passcode on the gate or you wish to visit at a different time, then please call Jenny on 562-716-2961. You can bring offerings of food each day between 10 and 10:45 a.m. And most recently every day, there is a short ceremony for requesting 5 precepts, offering of the midday meal, and receiving a blessing between 10:45 and 11:15 a.m. And on Friday, this ceremony is conducted in English. For those of you unable to visit in person, all the other ways of accepting money transfers to DIMC are still available, whether it be mailing checks, bank transfer, Zelle, or Venmo. Needless to say, the whole temple would like to rejoice in the merit of all continuing to take the opportunity to support the temple in this way. For all the reasons already mentioned, At the temple, there's still no face-to-face teaching sessions for the interim. You can, however, continue to access Dhamma teachings in English through several convenient channels. For aficionados of the Zoom meetings, you can access the Inner Peace channel content by joining the Zoom channel ID 970-1192-2337, and the meeting passcode is 072. And as you will see from the program schedule on the slide, content is available for most of the day now, 7 days a week, and brings together all the usual programming from our temples in America with English and Spanish content from the various branches. The times shown on this slide are for the West Coast. For content local to Azusa, you can continue to follow teachings at the YouTube channel called Peace Point Meditation or the Facebook page of Peace Point Meditation. For those of you particularly interested in my talks, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, which I've set up in my own name. According to the current Peace Point schedule, every Sunday morning you have got me, and with live material and archive material on alternating Sundays. Venerable Sopon appears every Thursday evening. The Monday and Friday Peace Silence sessions from Peace Point have been postponed for the interim, owing to even more monks being away in Thailand. Families listening in may be interested in a special show for children in English known as Shining Stars that goes out between 6 and 6:30 p.m. every Monday evening with bedtime stories and meditation short enough to keep the attention of younger listeners. Outside of the live streams and on-demand programming, you can also download the MindGym app for free, allowing you to listen to meditation and Dhamma talks in English on your cell phone, even when you're offline. It also now has push notifications to keep you up to date with upcoming activities on the Inner Peace channel, such as the Full Moon Meditation. So this session, we have looked at the topic of meditation and its benefits. For my next live session online with you, which will, fingers crossed, be a week on Sunday morning, I'll revisit the topic of aim in life and the 5 hindrances, where the recording also had some problems back in October 2020. For good measure, I would like to remind viewers you can email your questions about meditation or what you've heard in the lecture to the email address as you can see spelled out in the slide, and I will do my best to answer those questions on my next session. In the meantime, try to stay healthy, avoid recklessness or complacency in the face of the virus, maintain a positive mood, speak only positive words, forgive others, extend good wishes to others, and meditate daily. Hopefully, as the result of today's session, with full knowledge of all the benefits meditation can bring, you'll be inspired to practice to the full. So today, this is me, Phra Nicholas Thanissaro, signing off for this session. So long, folks, and stay safe.